Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for week 28. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here. Welcome back to this week's news report where we have plenty of updates, plenty of profits, and also we have a couple of extra videos. We have made a new video in the past week. We're also going to have a closer look at exactly what that is. It looks something like this. So this is basically part 3 of a bit of a series where I've tried to go into details on the RSI PAMM accounts, exactly how we look at the data, how we actually set up the set files, and also here how we can go and check and control the individual drawdowns. So I will tell you a bit more about that video later in the program also. And of course we have a couple of really high jumpers for this particular week. As you can see here, we have 15, 24 and 27%, and this is actually profit just for the past week. And this has something to do also with the recent changes we have done to some of our EAs, and we're going to have a closer look at that, how that has actually turned into a very, very good week. But as usual, we're going to start off with our usual program here, and we're going to start off with Yieldnodes. So unfortunately, there's not really much actually to report on Yieldnodes other than the NFT certificates. Most of the people have actually received them now, which is definitely good news. Apart from that, there's not really anything happening. All we can remind you of when we look at this is go, if you can find your NFT, go to the Polygon network, especially on your wallet, or if you go directly on the Yieldnodes website, then also where you have the little red box, it says Yieldnodes NFT, and your NFT should actually show up in here. The only news we have for this particular week is through the social media platforms in here. And there's a new wallet release, and there's a bit of tech talk about all this on how exactly it works. There's a lot of technical details in here, so I'll make sure that I leave also a link so you can go and have a closer look at it on the Medium itself. If you are interested in this, if you want to know about the latest updates, what are the changes in here, there seems to be quite a few, but then again, this gets to be, as I said, really a lot of tech talk. In the meantime here, let's go and have a look at the SAP coin. And again, not much movement last week. Again, we saw it somewhere pretty close to where we are now. It has gone pretty much sideways for a long period of time here now, and nothing seems to have changed either. At another week, we are pretty much at 0.70 and 4 at the moment, which is some of the lowest that we've seen it go. And there seems to be no end in sight where these things are actually going to pop up and change around. Now, if the SAP coin and the staking, if that has something to do with the new wallet and the update, we need to have a closer look, because as you can see in here, we haven't gotten any new stakings. Normally, every single stake that you get 280 SAP. Last time we got anything for this particular one was the 22nd of June. So this is getting close to about 3 or 4 weeks here now, and obviously we would like to see a bit more happen. You can see in the past we did at least 400 or 500 every single month. So obviously we need to have a closer look to see if this particular wallet update is creating some issues for us. So I will report further to you, most probably on next week's news report, if this is actually moving again. In the meantime, we can see the PNY staking. It is working. So last time it was 1st of July when we got it in, and then this particular week here, we now have also received it for the 12th of July. So that is at least good positive news, even though it's only 133 PNY. It's still money in the bank as we are holding the coins anyway. And if we look at the percentage overall, it's 0.6%. So it's not really much to cheer about here at the moment. There is, however, something to cheer about if you have Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has been on the move for the entire week here. It has been trending. Last time we actually left it just short of $56,000. Since then, things has been moving up. And in the last couple of days, things have gone faster and faster. And as you can see here, it's just broken through the $63,000 again. So very good news for everybody who's holding the Bitcoin at the moment. Trillant news, we believe it's also summertime for that particular whole organization in here. There's nothing new other than what the social media was actually already going on about last week. Again, they temporarily suspended the social media activity, and this is also what we reported last week. And this particular week, there was nothing new in the news report at all. Nothing came out. So obviously, again, a bit disappointing, but on the other hand, if there's nothing new to report, we don't really want to hear the same thing over and over again. So in the meantime, let's go to CoinStore, have a look at the Tree coin, how that has developed. Unfortunately, that has also gone further and further down. When we left it last week, up where you have the red circle in here, we were at 0.0001185. Since then, things have been moving downwards, pretty much backwards of what you just saw with Bitcoin in here. So at the moment, it's trading around 0.0001060, so really, really low. And also here, we don't think anything is going to happen unless at least we get the audit done, and hopefully something will come out of it in a positive manner. In the meantime, let's go and have a look at the money tree for week 28. The low risk one, which again, the low risk one is actually the original one from the developers with all the different currency pairs. That took another hit this week because, as you will see on many of our EAs, there has been a heavy drawdown for most of the EAs all through the week, and the low risk one didn't manage very well with minus $660 or minus 18.8%. However, the medium risk account in here that we show you many times, where we only take the best of the currency pairs that seems to be the most stable, has done $140 or 2.8% for the week. And also the high risk account in here also done extremely well with $230 or 5%. So it seems like our settings is a lot better than the developers, but obviously we also taken some of the more risky currency pairs out, where from time to time, of course, you can make a lot of money on this. You can find a lot more details as usual on our website in here, where we obviously have the link up here with all the original settings from the developers. And then we have the medium and high risk, which is our settings and how we actually want to trade it. And it looks something like this, where we continue to see that the original balance of 5,000 now risen up to 6,900. You can see the equity. So there is a floating profit and loss at the moment of minus 505. So, but again, it is moving forwards. We haven't lost anything on this particular account for a while. You can see the total return is 28%. Obviously, that's included the 2 dips we have in here. And now we have a history of 445 days. So definitely, it looks like we got the settings right for this particular EA. If we have a closer look at the individual days, again, same history as I just mentioned to you before. And then also we have the weekly and net profits. You can see the previous weeks, we only did 70, 42, 73, and the last one we did $140 in here. So definitely things is moving in the right direction. You can also see a nice little peak going up in here. So again, very nice increased profits. So basic profit for 1 week covers the past 2. So very nice to see. If we have a look at the Trade Explorer, also here, it was a good week. However, it also ended up with a bit of a drawdown at the end of the day for that EA. 22 pair did $285 or 2.9%. And then we have the 10 pair one, $281 or 2.8%. So they are very evenly matched here at the moment, which is nice to see. And we have a closer look at the individual currency pairs and how it actually did week on week. You can see 285 as we have down here, which is a lot better than the previous 182, 155. But obviously back in mid-June, we had 355, which was quite good, but it actually provides a reasonable scale going forward on the 22 pair. So extremely nice to see. And if we jump over to the 10 pair one, also here, again, same history. And with the $281 for the past week, we can also see that that is also one of the highest ones since back in early June with 320 for that particular EA. So overall, things are moving forward. Things are simply taking over and cashing in, and that's what we like to see. We also like to see the Wave Liberator. So this is for week 28. So the US Japanese, that you will see, is on top, $129 or 12.9%. We have Swiss francs Japanese, So $87 or 8.7%, and then Aussie USD, $70 or 7%. Great British Pounds, Japanese, $53 or 5.3%, and then Aussie Japanese, $52 or 5.2%. You will notice that we actually have 4 Japanese currency pairs in this particular week, so they are cashing in big time. So even though sometimes the Japanese currency pair can be the risk regarding the drawdown, you can also see that when it actually cashes in, it comes in quite high. Overall, if you would have traded those currency pairs, those 5 on a $1,000 account, you would have made $392 or 7.8%, and that is definitely a very good week. If we have a closer look at the overall portfolio in here, again, we have now 22 EAs also for this particular Wave Liberator, and we introduced those already last week. You can see the floating profit is actually in minus 11,259. Close profit almost 20,000 in here, plenty of free margins, and then total return 9.8%. Again, this should be good enough for FTMO trading, definitely, with the monthly returns of 1.3, weekly returns of 0.3%. Or if you trade each individual pair instead on $1,000 accounts, as this one is 10, then you should be able to get around 13% of our monthly profits and 3% for the weekly profits. Trade wins 68.2% is definitely good, and history of 331 days, so it doesn't take more than a month here or now, then we are going to have a full year of testing for this. And on our website, you can see the latest ones that we have been adding in is the bottom ones here, the CAS Swiss francs and Great British Pounds Swiss francs. So now we're up to 22 currency pairs, and that's pretty much where we expected to leave it for now. If we have a closer look again at the individual weekly returns, you can see that the last couple of weeks we had very, very stable results: 397, 398, 394, 386, and then this week this has jumped up a bit with 456. So definitely going back in the right direction again, even though we still have quite a few of these EAs in drawdown. And that's what we are currently making some updated changes here. Also, that will have some effect on the PAMM account itself. It's definitely very much needed. Now let's go over to the RSI Liberator. Also here for week 28, the top 5 EAs. Again, you have Japanese currency pairs on all 3 on the top, and those are also the ones that I mentioned to you in the beginning here. Swiss francs Japanese made an astonishing $273 or 27.3%, and we are still only talking about weekly profits here. Great British Pounds Japanese $249 or 24.9%. New Zealand Japanese $151 or 15.1%. So here again you see it is definitely good to have the Japanese currency in here, but again, be cautious, be wary. Things can go wrong very, very quickly, but on the other hand, this is your reward at the end of the day if you dare to take the risk. US CAD is $63 or 6.3%. New Zealand USD $25 or 2.5%. So overall, if you would have traded those top 5 currency pairs in the past week, you would have made $761 or 15.2%. That is well beyond average, so definitely a very good week for these currency pairs. If we have a look at the entire portfolio, also here we have 22 currency pairs, and we also found that the drawdown went up slightly in the last week. They seem to be doing quite well compared to the Wave Liberator, but we have also just made adjustments again for the market, which is also what we are trying to do now for the Wave Liberator. Total returns, again, because they are traded on $10,000 accounts, 1.3% when we take the floating profit and loss in here. Monthly returns about 1% and weekly returns 0.2%. So again, if you are trading this on $1,000 accounts, each currency pair instead, you will end up with about 10% per month or 2% per week. Trade wins 66.4%, and then trades per day 20. History is now nice round figure, 100 days overall, and continues to count. And we definitely also enjoy this particular account where you can find all the currency pairs. You can go click the individual ones on our web page, and from there on you can basically go and have a look and see which ones are the ones that you actually want to trade, which ones are the ones you actually want to skip. So having a closer look at the individual weeks again, we can see that this particular week here was a very good one, 929. So some of the adjustments and changes that we have done recently seems to work together with the market we have right now. Because last week we had a lower one of $469, and then previous week 608. So obviously the market seems to have some changes, some trending, and not too much settling down at the moment. So obviously again we have to be very careful with the settings, but they are working out for us at the moment, as you can see here. Now we also made a new video for this particular week, and this is the part 3, where we are going closer and closer into detail on the RSI PAMM account. And this particular week here, we're having a look where you don't necessarily need to have the PAMM account in here. If you have any particular accounts similar to the Trade Explorer or the Money Tree, where you have multiple different currency pairs, and you want to split it out to see which ones are doing well, which is not so well, you can do that even with all the open trades. So you get a better understanding of if you have some currency pairs that are trying to blow your account or not, because otherwise you will only see the overall drawdown. This is the video to have a closer look at, to see how you can actually dissect the account, how you can dissect the individual currency pairs, which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones are the ones that are threatening your account overall. And this was the second in the series, again, where we put things under the microscope, but this is going into details on the RSI settings, how we are actually finding the settings, why we are picking certain settings and not other ones. And the last one we had was the initial one, where we are explaining exactly how you can get into the RSI PAMM accounts, what you need to do, and all the links, and also the updates for the website itself that you see here. Again, both the Wave Liberator and the RSI Liberator is in here with all the details and information that you need. And if you want to have a closer look at our PAMM accounts, then simply click up here. Then we'll give you some of the details that you also have in here, where again, you can see progression is good. It has slowed down a bit, unfortunately, due to the markets that we had here in the last couple of months. But again, it's nice and positive, history of 139 days. And then we have the individual weekly profits also here. And last week was a bit better than the previous week, $2,105. But obviously we want this up, and that's also why we are looking into the settings. We are adjusting them as we speak. We'll continue to do that most probably over the next couple of weeks in order to try and adapt to the new market conditions that seems to have pulled most of the EA accounts. It doesn't really matter what EA, the drawdowns have been increasing lately. And if we have a further look at the RSI Liberator account, we also see in here that that is also going in the right direction. Good positive numbers, history 90 days. And then we can see that it's a bit disappointing with the profit overall, 1143 in here. So the new setting hasn't really kicked in on the Black Bull account yet. We definitely hope it's going to come in. It looks to be okay. And obviously the next couple of weeks will tell how well it's actually taking to it. But as you can see, we are going in the right direction, up, up, and further up. Now also the Lucky Trader is the new one. At the moment, this one is still for free, so we're still testing this one. The deadline right now is around the 20th of July. So that means we still have a bit of time here before this will actually be one that you need to buy in the future. You can find more details on our website where we have the Lucky Trader in here. When you click on this one, you'll get a lot more information on it. And again, also on the individual currency pairs, we are only testing 8 different ones at the moment because everything is quite random, and we think that is enough. We're not going to set 22 accounts up right now. That might come a bit later on. And the numbers for the Lucky Trader in here, that also again shows that the balance is good. So 84,000 when we started off with 80, but unfortunately the equity here is down 77,558. So a big floating profit and loss like the other EAs at the moment with 6,800. So obviously we're hoping that this is going to turn around too. History overall for this particular EA is 27 days. So very much in the testing phase still. And if we have a closer look at the numbers overall, we can see that individual days so definitely look pretty okay. So for the past week we had 94, 128, 253, 617, and then by Friday 424. And this is also the weekly returns of 1519. Unfortunately, the drawdown ate most of it away after that. And if we have a quick look at Expert Forex and what they have been up to in this particular week, again, they are talking about here the free 100% Lucky Trader robot can now trade small accounts also. So Alex has made a small little video on that. If you want to have a closer look at the Lucky Trader and give it a shot yourself, then definitely this is the video for you. And there is also a new disclosure on some of the trades for the Forex robots and the settings that have made some of these incredible results, as you see on the screen here. So it is all up to you if you are engaged in this, if you can actually join in and try and reap some of those rewards that you have seen here today. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. Please give us a thumbs up and a comment also in here. And obviously we hope that some of the drawdowns that we experienced in the past week in here, it's going to go away and it's going to turn into profit. Obviously you'll have to switch on and turn in also next week again for our news report to see if this is really happening. So until then, I hope to see you on one of my other videos. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.